Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Monday, April 25th, 2022. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to leave your baseball picks down in the comments section below. If you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at pickdawgz.com in the Premium Picks tab. I'm going to be having a daily $15 MLB best bet, so make sure you check it out at Pick Dawgz Premium. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Monday, April 25th. First up, we have the San Francisco Giants taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, at the moment, we see Sam Long and Corbin Burnes as the projected starters, but the line for this game hasn't officially come out yet, so that does sometimes mean that one of these starters may not be the guy that ends up going. So just make sure you're always trying to get the most up-to-date information before you're placing a bet. And that's why we say on the side here, pitchers and odds are subject to change. In a game like baseball, with a moneyline sport like baseball, things change all the time, especially because these teams play every day. So make sure you're always checking the information to make sure it's accurate. But for this one, as of now, we see Sam Long and Corbin Burnes. Corbin Burnes pitching well for the most part this year, but the home run numbers concern me quite a bit. He has a 2.37 ERA, but a 3.61 FIP because he's allowed 3 homers in his first 19 innings. That's 1.4 homers per 9. It's not too bad, but last year Corbin Burnes led the league in fewest home runs allowed by any of the starting pitchers in the National League. So to see him already at 1.4 and his strikeout numbers are down and his walks are a little bit up from last year as well, makes you wonder. And the Giants, they've just done a really good job offensively and defensively in the past few games. Obviously, they dominated against the Nationals in their last series. They won the last game on Sunday 12-3. And to me, they're just playing too good for me to pass up the price we're going to get with San Francisco here on the road as the dog. I'm going to take a shot with San Francisco on the money line. If they can find a few runs on Burnes early, it may be enough in the end. The Brewers' bats have been pretty inconsistent this season, so I'll take a shot with the Giants on the road. Next up, we have the Colorado Rockies taking on the Philadelphia Phillies, as the Kyles are going to be facing off yet again. Kyle Gibson and Kyle Freeland, the projected starters here. Now, the Phillies are a pretty steep favorite on the money line at home. I do think it makes sense, but I'm not in love with the price here. I would say take the run line to try to get a better price with the Phillies, who have done a really good job against left-handed pitching this season. And I thought that they did a good job against Freeland in that start as well. 6 hits, only 2 runs to show for it, but a lot of base runners that they left on base. They weren't able to kind of take the Rockies out of that game early. They had plenty of chances to take over that ball game. They weren't able to. Kyle Gibson struggled in his last start at Coors Field, but for the most part this year, he's been pitching really well for the Phillies. A 2.52 FIP this season, while Kyle Freeland, 7.71 ERA, 4.3 FIP. He's just not, Kyle Gibson's just in better form right now. And although the Rockies are playing well on the road at the moment, I just don't think it's going to carry on. We've seen this team really struggle on the road in seasons past, and I don't think anything's going to be too drastic of a change this year. The Rockies are playing good baseball, but I think this is the game the Phillies take. So I'll lay the 1.5 with the Phils at home. Next up, we have the Boston Red Sox taking on the Toronto Blue Jays with Nathan Eovaldi and Jose Barrios as the projected starters. Now, both of these starters have had similar issues this year, and that's been with the long ball. Nathan Eovaldi, 5 home runs allowed this season, with Jose Barrios giving up 3 home runs himself. And, I worry a little bit more with Eovaldi because he is facing a much better lineup here. Now, I know he pitched well enough to get the win for the Red Sox the last time these two teams played with Eovaldi on the mound. He pitched 4 2/3, gave up a home run, 7 hits though. That does worry me against this Blue Jays lineup. Although they were only able to score 1 run in that contest, I don't think if you give them 7 base hits, that's going to be the case often. So, I think the Blue Jays bats show up in this game. I think they back up Barrios, which they've done all season long. Barrios has a 6.35 ERA, but the Blue Jays have not lost a single game that he's started in. They beat the Rangers 10-8, they beat the Yankees 6-4, and they beat the Red Sox 6-1. So the run support has been there for Barrios. I think he gets it again with Eovaldi on the mound. I like the Blue Jays at home on the money line. In our next game, we see the New York Mets taking on the St. Louis Cardinals with Max Scherzer and Miles Mikolas as the projected starters. Now, I want to take the Mets here on the money line. I think they're not only the better team, but they also have the much stronger starting pitcher. Max Scherzer, what more can be said about him? First ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best pitchers in this generation, if not the best pitcher. and he's off to a great start this year. 3-0, 2.5 ERA, a .89 whip. The strikeouts have been there. Coming off a fantastic outing against the Giants, where he pitched 7 innings of one-hit baseball, only allowed 1 run, had 10 strikeouts in that one as well. And I don't think Miles Mikolas can compare here. The Mets have done a really good job against right-handed pitching for the most part this season. And not a guy that I like to back too often, although he is off to a pretty good start to the year. I think the Mets are going to be able to get the necessary runs to beat him. So I think the Mets are a pretty sizable favorite for a reason on the road, and I like the Mets to at least take this first game at St. Louis. Next up, we have the Houston Astros taking on the Texas Rangers. It'll be Dane Dunning and Framber Valdez as your projected starters. Now, Dane Dunning struggled quite a bit against this Houston Astros lineup last season. He had 2 outings against them. He pitched 6 innings in total because he gave up 11 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs, 3 walks. He did have 7 strikeouts, but 11 base hits and only 6 innings of work. That scares me quite a bit for him in this one. On the other side, Framber Valdez, for the most part, has pitched pretty well. He still has a 4.5 ERA, but his FIP is a little bit lower, 3.73. You know, the Rangers, for the most part this season, have done a good job against left-handed pitching. That wasn't the case against Cole Irvin on Sunday, but I do think that they're going to be able to find a few runs on Framber Valdez, and I think the Astros could honestly score the over of themselves in this one. So I lean towards the Astros on the money line, but I also like the over in this game. I think the total is just a little bit too low with these 2 starters here, and the two lineups that can do some damage. So give me the over in the Astros Rangers. Next up, we have the Cleveland Guardians taking on everybody's favorite team in the Los Angeles Angels. I mean, for Sunday's video, we had about 55 comments, and I would say 50 of them were all about people that were so upset about the Angels not covering the run line and losing the game outright to the Orioles on Friday and Saturday night. A lot of people have ruined their parlays, and it just, crazy. They were a big favorite in that game with Syndergaard, and they lost the game outright 5-4 on Saturday. They took a huge lead on Sunday, 6-0, I believe, and they blew that lead. But they were able to win that game by 7-6 on Sunday. But this Angels team looks a little bit off as of late, and I think the Guardians are the play for me here with Shane Bieber on the bump. 1-0 with a 2.25 ERA, .69 WHIP, 16 innings pitched, only 8 hits allowed with 3 walks, 16 strikeouts, not a single home run allowed. He's pitching fantastic. While on the other side, Michael Lorenzen hasn't been the case. 4.82 ERA this year, 2 homers allowed in 9 1/3 innings. That scares me against the Cleveland Guardians lineup that's done a pretty good job against right-handed pitching for the most part this season. Give me the Guardians. I think the Orioles may have found the Angels' kryptonite, and I think the Guardians take advantage of it as well. Give me the Guardians on the money line. Our final game of the night, we see the Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks with Merrill Kelly and Walker Buehler on the bump for this one. Now, I'm going to take the under in this game. I'm not crazy about the side here because Walker Buehler, for the most part this season, has actually struggled quite a bit. 4.02 ERA. It's not terrible numbers, but it's not the top 5 Cy Young performance that we saw from him last season. The Diamondbacks' offense has been miserable all season long, below 200 team batting average. I still think the weakest lineup in baseball, and I don't see him scoring on Walker Buehler here. And on the other side, Merrill Kelly has pitched well this season, a 1-0 record with a .59 ERA in 15 1/3 innings of work, 18 strikeouts, not a single home run allowed. I think he can keep the Dodgers' bats to at least a little bit of a minimum. I see the Dodgers winning this game. I don't love the price we have with them on the road, so I'll take the under and lead towards the Dodgers on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games for Monday, April 25th. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to leave your baseball picks down in the comments section below. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.